again to the hillside. As you can tell, I am inside. Unfortunately, summer is over. I have to admit it, we had our first frost last night. This morning it was like 27 degrees. Clearly, the growing season is over. However, as you see before you, all these pumpkins were grown on one vine. Okay, you don't have to believe me, but check out this video here or there somewhere. I can show you where I grew these pumpkins on my compost pile. So this is a giant pile of compost that was slightly decomposed, about 2/3 of the way done. Planted the pumpkins in the compost pile, and it ran everywhere, mostly in my neighbor's yard. But she was totally cool with it. He liked looking at them, and that's fine. This was unfertilized. Other than that, it was unweeded. It was growing through the grass or all around it. And honestly, I thought there was only like 5 pumpkins that I could see like through the grass, over the fence. There's like 13 pumpkins here, okay? Now this was 97 pounds of pumpkins, okay? From one seed, 97 pounds, okay? So you might be asking what variety of pumpkins these are. Well, I originally bought the seeds and they were supposed to be Seminole pumpkins, which is the Florida heirloom pumpkin, which I obviously live much farther north than Florida, so I figured I'd at least give them a shot because they're a super long variety, long season variety. And this right here, for what I can tell from watching other channels or just doing some research, this is about what you would expect with an actual Seminole pumpkin, which is, I mean, obviously true to type, true to form, true to everything, okay? But anyways, some of these are just massive. I mean, this one here, right here, this does have the Seminole shape, like kind of pyramidal shape to it. And it is, I mean, it's just massive, right? So, but some of these, I'll make a mess here. There we go. Just like on cue. But check it out. This doesn't really have that same shape. But you can tell it is, you know, the same lineage, whatever, okay? Because I've been saving the same seeds, selecting for the best pumpkins, especially for early maturity, trying to get one that's going to mature a little bit earlier. So probably this guy here and this one here may be my seed candidates, okay? But anyways, like I was trying to say, I didn't spray these one time with any kind of pesticide. Did the vine worm borers get in? Yep. But you know what? Pumpkins, as they grow along the ground, they put down more roots. So as a section may be affected, you know, digs back in, okay? So as I was pulling the vines up out of my neighbor's yard, I mean, you have to put a little bit of force into it. These roots, I mean, they really, really anchor themselves down, okay? So that's why I don't super stress about it. When the plants are super young, yes, take care to make sure they are insect, you know, disease free. But more or less, pumpkins, they really take care of themselves, you know? And so these are not your typical Halloween jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. These are more accurately a winter squash, which Halloween pumpkins are a winter squash too. Anyhow, these, you're gonna eat these, okay? Now, yes, these are green. You're gonna say, why would you want to eat a green pumpkin? I mean, some recipes call for green pumpkin, like green curry, has pumpkin in it, a lot of Asian dishes like that. However, I have found from experience, leaving these things inside, they're going to continue to ripen. I mean, this right here was solid green just a couple of days ago, and I brought it inside, and you can already tell how it's starting to change colors right here and turning this nice tan color. Okay, so this variety of pumpkins, whatever it may be, Seminole pumpkin, maybe mixed with something else, I don't know, I guarantee you is the best pumpkin pie you've ever eaten in your entire life. Okay, I started making pies for Thanksgiving with this particular pumpkin, and I've had my family goes crazy for it. One of my nephews absolutely begs for it, asks for it by just, he'd rather eat that than the turkey, anything else. It's pretty awesome. A couple of my aunts who don't even like pumpkin pie eat this and say it's the best thing they've ever had. So I'm not the best chef in the world. I'm not trying to take credit for some super awesome recipe. The recipe is the pumpkin itself. So don't worry about trying to grow your pumpkin in a more northern climate because these things will store 6 months, I heard up to a year in nice indoor dry, you know, climate like this. It's going to do awesome, all right? And this is going to be tons and tons and tons of food. So if you're one of those survival gardeners or you're into prepping or you're just trying to be homesteading or off the grid or something, there's only so much lettuce you can grow that you can eat because how much calories you're going to get from your lettuce, okay? But these guys, these things are just packed full of calories, okay? Not only that, the seeds are a great source of fat and protein. tons of carbs. It's going to store through the winter. So if you're in that kind of situation, you're trying to do what I was saying. Think about storable winter pumpkins or winter squash, whatever you may want to call them in your part of the world. It's definitely something you need to check out. But this is all from one plant, okay? Like I said, check out the video. It's not a trick. 97 pounds, okay? That does include, obviously, the skin and the parts that are inedible, etc., etc. But, I mean, you get the gist. You're going to get a lot of food, okay, for a very small input. One seed, a bunch of compost. I watered it a handful of times in the driest part of early summer till it just took off. And we have enough rain, at least where I live, that it was able to just fend for itself. So the hands-off method works with this. That's my method that I use in a lot of my videos as far as don't baby your plants. Get them established, hands-off, survival of the fittest. Find the plants that do the best with the least amount of input. Save the seeds from those and just keep growing them. And you see what you have. Like, this is your potential right here, okay? Mine on a hillside in a small backyard in an urban setting here. If you live outside and you have plenty of room to spread out, you have better, deeper soil than I do, I mean, you may get twice as much. Maybe all your pumpkins are bigger. Who knows? Okay? But do give it a try. Okay, now, so for the last thing, for the main event, I need to show you something over here that I grew alongside these pumpkins, and it's gonna blow your mind. And I'll tell you the story, how I got the seeds and what it all means, and wrap this thing up. All right, so hold on. I'll be right back. All right, so check out this massive thing right here. Okay, so what variety is this? I'm not entirely sure. So long story short, one of my friends, he owns a restaurant. He's Greek descent, has an awesome home-style Greek restaurant. Anyhow, his uncle is from Cyprus. He got the seeds from Cyprus, brought them over. They've been growing them in their family for generations and generations. I made friends with him, got to know him, and he gave me some seeds. Gracious enough, so thank you for that. I grew them this year for the first time. And on the vine, I only got one of these massive fruits. I have no idea what it's going to taste like or whatever, but it's going to be a good time when I do finally get around to processing it. This thing is super cool. However, this thing right here, let me get this out of the way. That weighs 18 pounds, by the way. So remember that, and I won't tell you why. 18 pounds. Okay, so they were growing alongside each other. Okay, the two vines these were growing on, as you can see, this was much more productive, but this is just massive. But that's cool. They were growing amongst each other. Okay, so maybe the bees cross-pollinated these two. I don't know. Are they the same variety of pumpkins or squash that are able to cross-pollinate? Because some are incompatible. Again, I don't know. I know the Seminole pumpkins are of the Machada variety, which is mostly your pie pumpkins, like your Dickinson pie pumpkin, which is what actually all of your actual pumpkin filling really comes from, mostly the Dickinson variety, or there's a Kentucky field pumpkin, this big, ugly, orange-looking thing. They're just full of just pulp, that's going to cook down to make your actual pumpkin pie filling. But anyhow, I have a good feeling about this one here. I have absolutely no idea what it is or what it was crossed with, but it's been growing in their family for a while. He said that he'll grow this pumpkin, and sometimes just randomly you have this really big pumpkin like this, it'll put off just like a little tiny, maybe not like this, but for example, just a small little circular fruit, just randomly on the vine, along with these long pumpkins like this. So maybe that kind of leads to being some kind of hybrid of crossbreed of over the years. I don't know, but I love growing these pumpkins because it's just so cool just to see just all the variety on one vine. I mean, like I said, these are all in the same vine. You got different shapes. You got the traditional Seminole shape. This one is the Seminole shape right here. And some of these, like this one here, is just more rounded. So save the genetic quality that you want. If you want to keep this exact, this is your prototype, keep just this one. I'm not a geneticist. I don't know all of the in-depth plant science, but these were all in the same vine from the one seed. Although it did put off different shapes and sizes. Does saving the seed from this versus saving the seed from this, are they going to produce different results? I don't know. And maybe just randomly one of the seeds from this big guy here cross with this guy right here. And if I save the seeds from this, I might get some kind of crazy crossbreed. Or maybe the bees were too busy to bother with it crossing with this one right here. So this will be true to type. And, you know, I don't know. That's why it's a crapshoot. But growing squash and pumpkins is pretty awesome for a lot of reasons. So that is my harvest of pumpkin video, showing you what is possible without chemicals, showing you what's possible without using industrial fertilizers, just the power of compost, organic gardening, hands-off approach. I mean, this is over 100 pounds of food right here. Plenty to go around Thanksgiving time. Make pies, save it for Christmas. It's going to feed your family, feed yourself throughout the winter. Like I said, 6 months to maybe up to 9 months to a year under the proper conditions. And by the time next year's harvest is coming in and you're ready to try something else and grow from there. So from my hillside, hopefully this is inspiring for you. Hopefully you enjoy this video here and it really gets your brain thinking about what is possible. Okay, here at the end of the season, like I said, the frost is upon us, the leaves are falling down. Maybe where you're from, it's spring and you're getting ready to just plant the first seeds of spring. You live in Australia, New Zealand, you know, somewhere in the southern hemisphere. Plant these pumpkins and maybe, you know, 6 months from now, this harvest could be yours as I'm getting ready to replant my seeds for spring, which is what makes gardening so cool. It's such a connected activity. We're all in this together. We're all doing the same thing. I just love it. Okay, so from my hillside to your hillside, hopefully you have a great fall. Hopefully your harvest was amazing. Hopefully next year it's even better than it was this year. Okay, guys, until next time, keep growing, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.